Hi everyone, I'm Catherine with Free Tours by Foot. Visiting New York is great at any time of the year, but I personally think that one of the absolute most magical times to come and visit New York is around the holidays. And one of the biggest events to kick off the holiday season in this city is the lighting of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. So in this video, we're going to talk about when the Rockefeller tree lighting is, how to get there, and some of what to expect when you arrive so that you can decide if that's something you want to make a part of your trip at the holidays. So let's go ahead and jump in. First thing we'll start with is where is Rockefeller Center and how to get to the tree lighting itself. Rockefeller Center is actually a large compound between 48th and 51st Streets between 5th and 6th Avenues. And the tree lighting is dead center right there in Rockefeller Plaza. So that's in Midtown Manhattan. The good news is that means you have a lot of different options for how to get there on public transit. The best and closest option as far as the subways go is the B, D, F, or M trains to the Rockefeller Center station. But you also have the option of the 1 train to 50th Street, the N, Q, and R trains to 49th Street, the E and M trains to 53rd and 5th Avenue, and the 6 train to 51st Street. So a lot of different choices for subways. There are also several city buses that run there as well. So no shortage of public transit options, which is great. We do recommend taking public transit to get to the tree lighting. There are a lot of street closures in preparation for the tree lighting itself. And so if you take an Uber or a taxi, they may have some trouble navigating through those street closures. So public transit is the way to go. As far as when the tree lighting is, it is every year the Wednesday after American Thanksgiving. So mark your calendar, check for when Thanksgiving is. The very following Wednesday will be the Rockefeller Center tree lighting. The tree lighting itself is at 9 p.m., but the actual event starts at 7 p.m. If you're wondering what could possibly be going on for those 2 hours before they turn the lights on, there are actually performances that go on. So there's a big concert that leads up to the lighting itself, and it really is wonderful. In the past, we've had performers like Dolly Parton, Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, Mariah Carey, so some really amazing and famous musicians perform at the Rockefeller Center tree lighting. So I know I said everything kicks off at 7, but this is one of those events that is very, very crowded, much like the Times Square ball drop on New Year's Eve. And there are really very limited spaces that you can get a good view of the tree lighting. So for that reason, we recommend arriving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for a 7 p.m. start, but no later than arriving at 4 p.m. for a 7 o'clock start. So this is something you really do have to plan for and make sure you're carving out enough time to get into a spot and plan on doing a little bit of waiting ahead of actually seeing the event kick off. So let's jump in to where you should stand to see the tree lighting and some of the things to expect when you get there. So one of the reasons we recommend getting there so early as 3 o'clock in the afternoon, is there's really only a handful of great spots to see the tree lighting happen. So one of the best places is right on Rockefeller Plaza. When we say Rockefeller Plaza, we're referring to the area immediately surrounding the skating rink there at Rock Center. Another great place to stand is in the Channel Gardens. The Channel Gardens is a narrow pedestrian walkway that runs from Rockefeller Plaza out to 5th Avenue. So you can access it from 5th Avenue in between 49th and 50th Streets. There is a little narrow section of 5th Avenue that you can see the tree lighting as well, but it's really just the section of sidewalk right outside of the Channel Garden. So it is a narrow little stretch there on 5th Avenue, but another good spot to see the tree lighting. If you're wanting to see the performances and you really want to be right up close to the performances and get a great view, for that, you really have to be right on Rockefeller Plaza. So either the north, south, or east side of Rockefeller Plaza, and you really need to be in the first few rows. So in order to do that, we recommend getting there no later than noon. So this is going to be a long wait for you if you decide to do that, but it is worth it. You will get an absolutely fantastic free concert. Just be prepared for that wait, plan accordingly. So some other things to know when you arrive there. This is a free event. It's open to the public. It is first come, first served. This is one of the truly great free things to do in New York City at the holidays. The other thing to know, I had mentioned that they block off some streets in preparation for the tree lighting. There is security to get inside, and there are some prohibited items that they will not allow you to bring past those barricades. They usually don't allow umbrellas, large bags, backpacks, so make sure you check online, check out the up-to-date list of whatever the prohibited items are, and that way you don't have any problems getting inside the area itself. Also, if for some reason this just does not work in your schedule, you decide you don't want to deal with the crowds, you don't want to wait outside, you don't have to miss the tree lighting. It is broadcast on national television. There is still a way to see it. So if you decide after watching this that going to the Rockefeller Center tree lighting is not for you, the good news is that's not your only opportunity to see the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. There are actually lots of opportunities. It stays up for a long time, and even though the lights being lit for the first time is such a big event, the lights will be turned on every day all the way up until the first week of January. So you can actually catch the lights coming on almost every day at 5:30. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is lit from 5:30 until 11:30 almost every day. There are two exceptions to that. On Christmas Day, December 25th, the lights are actually on for a full 24 hours, so you have a lot of opportunities that day to go and see the tree. The other day that schedule is slightly altered is New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, the lights are only on from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m., so a bit shorter, but still lit. Just something to keep in mind if you decide that's the day that you have time to go and see the tree. Now, when you get there are obviously a lot of different places you could take a photo, but our recommendation, the photo that should not be missed, the very best photo up, is from the Channel Gardens area that I talked about. There's some really beautiful decorations. It's a perfect straight-on shot of the tree, so make sure you don't miss that one when you get there. You'll want to have that photo keepsake. Let's talk about some other things to do alongside visiting the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, because there's a lot of other stuff in the area and you can really get quite a few things in on that visit. So one of the most popular things, of course, is to go ice skating. The Rockefeller Center ice skating rink is probably the most famous ice rink in New York City. You've probably seen it in a lot of films and TV shows. Something to keep in mind, a couple of things really. There can be very long waits to ice skate at Rockefeller Center, and it is by far the priciest ice skating rink in New York City. So if after looking at it you decide it's just really not for you, it's not in your budget, don't worry. There are a lot of other ice skating rinks in New York City. We really have something to accommodate every budget. So check out our blog post on different ice skating options in New York. I promise you will find something that works for you. Another way to see not only the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, but all of the most famous decorations in New York City is to take one of our holiday lights tours. This is a pay what you wish group walking tour that Free Tours by Foot offers at this time of year. And you'll get to see, like I said, not only the Rockefeller Center tree, but also some of the famous store windows and other decorations throughout the city. It's a really fun evening and something I definitely recommend checking out. If you decide to not come with a group, there's still a lot of other things right in that area you should check out while you're there visiting the tree. Top of the Rock right there at 30 Rock. You can actually check out our video about visiting Top of the Rock and decide if that's a good option for you. Radio City Music Hall, the iconic performance venue, offers tours and it's right there down the block. St. Patrick's Cathedral is directly across the street, definitely not to be missed. The MoMA is nearby. One of my favorite things at that time of year is directly across the street from the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. Saks Fifth Avenue does an amazing lights show on the front of their store. It is so spectacular and something you can do right there while you're visiting the tree itself. So there are a lot of options, a lot of wonderful things that you can do. We hope that this video has helped you plan that visit to see the Rockefeller Center tree just a little bit better. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Ring that bell so you get notifications every time we release new content. We have a lot more coming your way, including a lot of holiday planning videos if you are going to be visiting at that time of year. Like I said earlier, it is my favorite time of year in New York City. You are definitely going to have a wonderful visit.